Let it go. Let it go.
Well, wait a second.
Welcome to the Red Tail Talk Show. I am Drew Holtgreave, your host, and alongside me, as always, is Dan Szewczak. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Drew. How about you? How you doing today?
I'm doing good. Hey, I see that you've jazzed up your background a little bit there.
Yeah, so I'll get out of the way. It's just a nice little Hartford.
Dan's on board. It's Hartford Hawks all around.
Hartford scarf. You know, my background in past episodes have been pretty plain, pretty barren. So, I thought I had to step up my game because you have the flags. I think the least I could do is a scarf.
Yeah, I noticed over the last couple episodes, mine are they're in there, but they're kind of cut off. So I'm trying something different today. We got the flag full in view right here. So yeah, just trying out something different. But I like it. Yours looks good, Dan. It looks good to have you on the spirited side here. So what have you been doing?
It's been finals week at the University of Hartford, so I've been busy with a ton of schoolwork, Drew. If I'm not working or not helping you out with the podcast, I have been doing some schoolwork. I'm back in Connecticut. I had a great time in New York, but I did have to come back eventually, so I am back in the Nutmeg State, and just trying to get done with all my schoolwork so I can be done with that, Drew, and finally start enjoying my time. How about you, Drew?
Yeah, I got a couple of weeks off. Finished my classes earlier this week. Got a couple of weeks off, and then summer classes begin. So that should be interesting. And it'll be an interesting summer taking classes. I haven't taken summer classes, I don't think, ever in my entire life. So this is going to be quite an adventure. But so we're excited this week, the second week of Trick Shot of the Week. Got a couple of submissions this week, so good to see some alumni getting involved as well, and Lindsay Abed. So yeah, for all of you fans out there, alumni, you're more than welcome to participate in this as well. Send us your trick shot to @HartfordHawks on Instagram, and we're excited about this. And we're excited for now. Next week, after this episode, of course, we'll reopen submission for the next week. So send those in. We're excited and we're ready to keep this going.
Yeah, right you are, Drew. So let's kick it off into some news that we have. Last week, we did mention the awards banquet that we do host every year, and it's moving to a virtual platform. We said we would have more information for you this week, and Drew, we do have more information. We did not lie. We got more information. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit more about what they can expect next week?
Yeah, first I have to point out that, Dan, we don't lie. We do not promote lying on this show.
I just had to mention it, in case.
Hey, I'm glad you did. We are honest people here on the Red Tail Talk Show, and we do have more news for you. Awards banquet is going to start next week. So this upcoming Monday, folks, will be the start of the Hartford Hawks virtual awards banquet. Monday, we're going to have our academic awards announced, followed by, on Tuesday, we got Iron Hawk, Newcomer of the Year, All Hawk Team. So those are some good ones to look out for, especially the All Hawk Team. I know that is very much on people's radar of seeing who's on it. And I know they're going to be excited because we get to announce that award, don't we?
Yeah, I was going to say, Drew, I think I heard a little birdie saying, we might be announcing that award. So
yeah, it's a cool thing we're doing. Each award's going to be announced by someone different from either, somebody from the Hartford athletic staff. So that's going to be cool and fun to see. Then, of course, continuing the schedule, Wednesday, we got SAC Awards. Thursday, we'll wrap it up with your big ones, Male and Female Athlete of the Year and Coach of the Year. As you guys can see here on this graphic of ours. But, look out for those. We got the times here. And be ready for those as that starts this Monday and goes all the way to Thursday.
Right, you are, Drew. Make sure to keep an eye out for that on our social media platforms. And also some news to bring you. A couple of weeks ago, we did mention the soccer golf tournament. We'd like to bring that up again. It's going to be held at the Wampanoag Country Club in West Hartford, Connecticut on July 27th. Some details for you. It's $175 a person or $700 per foursome to register. With that, you get 18 holes of golf, lunch, and a post-round happy hour and dinner. And you want to get in on this, folks, because it is going to be the first university event following the quarantine, and what better way to get out and enjoy the nice weather we're going to have with the largest annual fundraiser for the Hartford's men's and women's soccer programs. For more information, please contact our Senior Associate Athletics Director and Brian Mick at mick@hartford.edu. That's MIK@hartford.edu with any questions.
Dan, that's wonderful. Thank you for that information. Unbelievable. Yeah, we're bringing it up again. We felt like we kind of left you guys out in the dark a little bit, not mentioning where it was last time when we brought it up. So we're bringing up it again. And this it's going to be, like you said, the first event for the University of Hartford, or for Hartford Athletics, the first event since quarantine has happened. So it's going to be exciting. I know there are so many people, looking to golf. I know the golf courses are packed for those states that have it opened right now. So I'm sure, people are looking forward to this. And if you have not signed up yet, you don't have your name in there yet, you better get your name in there now, sign up, because it's going to be quite an event. Going to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see you guys there.
Exactly. So let's kick off the show with our special guest this week from the women's lacrosse team. She's been with the program all 3 years that the program has existed. It's Debbie Phillips, junior attacker from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia.
And now we'd like to welcome in Debbie Phillips, junior attacker for Hartford women's lacrosse. And how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining the show. You're from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Is that where you're coming or zooming in from?
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, so how is Canada treating this differently than the United States has been?
Honestly, I think it's kind of around the same. Like, we're still told to self-distance and quarantine. Lots of lines at Costco and Walmart, as I'm sure you guys have those too.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar.
All right. Yeah, so pretty much what have you been doing maybe outside of homework to pass the time? I know it is kind of like running towards the end of the school year, so you're probably busy with that. But what else have you been doing to kind of just pass time?
Just hanging out with my family a lot. I have 2 brothers, so I've been hanging out with the younger one because he's not working right now. We also have a puppy, so he's about a year old, so I've been hanging out with him a lot. He was sitting on my bed a couple minutes ago right beside me, but he decided to ditch me for the younger brother. So,
what kind of dog is it?
He's a pit bull mixed with a lab. He's a rescue. It's really cute.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
So in addition to that, a lot of people have been obviously Netflix, Hulu, all of that. Have you been binge watching anything in your time?
Oh, yeah. Like everybody, I've watched Tiger King. I watched Waco, and I just finished Outer Banks. So I've had those 3 going on. So now I'm just trying to focus on finals and hopefully not get distracted by Netflix.
Yeah. So like you said, you have 2 brothers have hang out with the younger one. Have you guys, been doing anything fun, any kind of hobbies or any competitions, between the siblings?
We were playing past lacrosse, but the weather hasn't been nice. So can't really go outside lately. The younger one actually just committed to Vermont for lacrosse, so had a bit of a rivalry going on in the house so far.
Yeah, you got to get that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You said the weather hasn't been too good, so have you been finding ways indoors to kind of, stay in shape or keep active?
Yeah, we actually have a home gym, so we have like a treadmill, bike, bench press, squat rack, and a couple of free weights. Mm-hmm. So have that. So it's a pretty nice setup.
Yeah, no, it certainly sounds like it.
Yeah.
So we've had a couple of other guests kind of share maybe favorite recipes that they've discovered while being home and having more time to cook. So is there anything that you've been trying cooking wise, any new recipes, any things you just enjoy being at home to eat again that you couldn't eat at school?
I recently got into making hummus quesadillas. So instead of cheese, you just make it with hummus. Saw that on TikTok, I think. So I've been trying that. That's the main one. Other than that, haven't really been venturing off in the kitchen too much.
What about meals? What's your favorite meal to eat, at least while being home?
go-to meal when I'm home? Probably my mom's lasagna, because she found this recipe online a couple years ago just for like lasagna made from scratch, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't made it yet since I've been home, but usually that's my favorite one.
Ooh.
Yeah. Keep asking her to make it, but she's like, okay, I'll get around to it, but she hasn't.
You got to stay on her about that, yeah.
I know.
We got some career stats here for you. Obviously, you were here at the start of the program. In your 3 years there, 19 goals, 10 assists, 29 points in 25 games played. So what's it mean to you that you were here kind of from the start of this program, and what's kind of your biggest takeaway in your 3 years thus far?
Biggest takeaway? I would say I just love the program and for what it stands for. When I heard there was going to be a new program at Hartford, I saw it on Twitter originally, and I was like, you know what, that'd be so cool to go start like a new program. Just start from scratch and have that kind of legacy with you. So that was like my main go-to, and I just absolutely like love it. I could not imagine going like anywhere else and having like, even at a more established program, I just love the idea of helping build something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, you come to us from British Columbia, the western part of Canada, as far west as you can be. So was the idea of a new program kind of what drove you to go essentially all the way to the East Coast and play lacrosse here?
Yeah, part of it. There's not much like Division I lacrosse on the West Coast. Like the closest school to me is Oregon. So I always kind of pictured myself on the East Coast, and my older brother actually went to Monmouth in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. So I knew wherever I went, if I went to the East Coast, I'd still have family over there. So,
yeah. So, I mean, we know Canada is just such a big, rich tradition of lacrosse country. So was it a sport you kind of picked up early and started playing, or just kind of how did you get into playing lacrosse?
Originally I played soccer, and I played soccer until I was a senior in high school. So I was always soccer and like another sport. And then in the third grade, my parents were like, okay, pick between field hockey and box lacrosse. And I had played field hockey the year before, and I just didn't really like it. So I was like, okay, I'll play box lacrosse because my brothers also played. They're a big influence in my life. Mm-hmm. And I just like loved it. And the next year they're like, okay, do you want to play field lacrosse? And I was like, oh, of course. Like I just dove right in, fell in love with the game instantly.
Yeah. And you've had, a good 3 years thus far. And of course, we're excited for one more out of you, but what kind of in your 3 years have you attributed to your success, whether it be like just your teammates, your coaches, like what's kind of attributed to your success there?
I think definitely my teammates have really helped me out. They're like such a great group of girls, like every class incoming, just phenomenal. Just everybody has such a great personality. Everybody is so different. So I think just having everybody's ideas and just playing with a bunch of different people is what has really helped me in my lacrosse career so far.
Yeah, so there is a little bit of a difference between the women's game and the men's game. We know that, but for those who may not necessarily know like what's different about women's lacrosse, can you kind of just tell us like what are the major differences between the men's and the women's game?
Yeah, of course. So women's lacrosse, you only have goggles and a mouth guard for equipment. Well, and you have your stick, obviously. At men's lacrosse, you have the shoulder pads, the helmet, other gear, just a lot more. Men's lacrosse is full contact. Women's lacrosse is just a little bit of contact. Like you can still push girls, but if you knock someone over, you might get called for it. And the stick is very different. So women's stick, they have generally no pocket. I wish I had my stick in my room right now. I didn't think to bring it up here. There's no pocket, but a men's stick has a deeper pocket.
The game here we like to play called Stump the Szewczak. It's kind of a categories type game, and we got 3 categories here, so we'll let you pick what you think you can do better in. We got board games, Disney movies, and countries.
I kind of want to go with board games.
All right. Okay, so we're going to go with board games here. Category you picked. You're going to have 20 seconds to name as many board games as possible. Dan, who previously did this, and this is so far Dan's worst category. So you pick.
I'm not confident about this week. I think you're going to beat me for sure.
Dan got 6, so the number to beat there is just 6 board games. Okay. So I'm going to get my timer ready here. Do you have any other questions before we start?
No, I think I'm ready.
All right. Okay. So, Dan, you're going to keep track, and I'm going to have the timer right here. All right. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Mousetrap, snakes and ladders, checkers, chess, life, Monopoly, break the ice. I don't know. I'm like stumped right now.
Oh.
I don't know. That's all I know, I think.
I had one in my head I wanted to help. What did you get?
You did just enough. You got 7, Debbie. So you did Stump the Szewczak, the second person in the history of the show to do so.
Yeah.
So you could. Yep.
Yeah, she joins Jimmy SLAYTON as the only other person to stump the Szewczak. So you get 5 extra bonus points there, which will give you a grand total of 12 to go up on the leaderboard with the rest of our previous guests. So fantastic performance there. I wanted to shout out Clue.
That's a good one.
That was one of my favorite board games. But
I'm thinking I got Cranium right now too.
That's what always happens. You think of more as soon as it's done. So
yeah,
but congrats on Stumping the Szewczak, and thank you for joining the show. This was a lot of fun, and we hope that you are staying safe up there. We are looking forward to whenever we can finally all return to Hartford and watch you guys play next year.
Thank you.
Yeah, so once again, we'd like to thank Debbie Phillips from Hartford Women's Lacrosse for joining the show. We had a good time, a fun time, and she stumped the Szewczak, second ever to do it. That was very impressive. Dan, we found a category you're not good at.
We did. I mean, this was one of the categories we first did, like at the very beginning when we came up with this idea, and I did so bad. I was just waiting for the day for somebody to pick it. And, I'm just I don't even care that I lost. I'm glad somebody just finally picked the category.
Well, yeah, I've been edging student athletes on previous shows to pick that category. Because
you even told people that I only got 6 on it. So, they had plenty of time to prepare and know the number they had to beat.
True. That is true. I spilled the beans on that one.
You did.
So,
but it's okay. Again, I'm just glad that's done and over with,
You can move on past that category.
I can move on. It's finally done. Just can get over it. It's okay.
Yeah. So
I will gladly take that loss. So
as a good sport should. But yes, thank you, Debbie Phillips, for doing that, joining the show and Stumping the Szewczak. That was great. And we just want to kind of wrap up the show here now. That wraps up our episode here. We'll touch on a couple of our earlier points. Remember, Hawks fans, awards banquet starts this Monday, so look out for that. They're all in the evening time, so kind of after you had dinner, really look out for that. That's something to look forward to. We got awards on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Dan. And then, of course, the soccer golf tournament as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just mark that on your calendars. July 27th is the soccer golf tournament. And as always, Drew, the trick shot of the week, start sending them in now. We stopped accepting submissions on the end of Tuesday. So by Tuesday night, you need to get your submissions in. And then on Wednesday, we will vote on which trick shot ends up being the most popular and ends up being the trick shot of the week.
Yeah, I was expecting a couple this week. We got finals. Our students are busy. But, alumni fans out there, hey, you're not in school. So if you got nothing else to do, just send them in. Obviously, we understand if you're busy, but yeah, if you got nothing else to do, get the family together. It's a fun thing to do. We might over here in this household try to build maybe an obstacle course type trick shot or something. I don't know. We'll see, but we're looking forward. These submissions will start now, and you have until Tuesday, and then voting will be on Wednesday for next week's episode, as we'll reveal our trick shot of the week then. As our next episode will be next Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern, as always. And we thank you for joining us. Remember, you can always catch us on Anchor, Spotify, Apple for listening, or YouTube is the place to be for this video podcast. And Dan, do you have anything else as we wrap it up?
Just as always, Hawk Nation, stay safe, stay healthy.
Go Hawks.
Hit my table. Go Hawks.